All right, so this video is to show you how to do a full body shadow like the one that you see here. And it's a little bit more advanced than the other one, so I'm going to show you the steps to try and get this type of a shadow. And you're going to have to try and see what works for you. So if I were to hide this, this is how our picture looks, and this is how the shadow's there. So basically what we're doing is we're going to take the figure and we're going to make an outline copy of it and fill it and then kind of distort it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to sandwich that layer underneath the figure layer. Okay, so if I were to hide this layer, that's Miss Jackson. This is the new layer I added. This is the background layer. I'm going to hide the background layer for a minute because what we're going to do is on the layer that has the figure, I'm going to select the background, and then you can see everything but Miss Jackson is selected. So I want to select Miss Jackson. So I'm going to go to select inverse. That's kind of the opposite. And it selects just her. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to layer 2. This is my shadow layer, so you should probably label these. All right, so this is my shadow layer. So if I were to get rid, or if I were to hide this layer, you could see that I just have this outline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the paint bucket over here, and I'm going to fill it with black. Okay, so I'm filling her with black. If I showed you her, you wouldn't even see anything. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'll hit Command D for deselect. Okay. Then what you can do is you can start by rotating this. So I'm going to go up to Edit, and I'm going to Transform, Rotate. All right. And I actually want to rotate this probably from this point. I think that's going to be okay, but we'll see. And I have to be able to kind of, there we go, rotate it kind of that way. And it's okay if it goes off the page. And then I want to see what it looks like compared to my figure. So I'm going to move it around. And I'm going to do Command T, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit more this way. I kind of rotated it too much, I think. And some of this you're going to notice you're going to have to get rid of. All right, so let's say right about here. All right, and it's okay if it goes off the page. And then what I'm probably going to do is show the background, because I want the shadow to go the same way that kind of the pencil goes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to distort. So I'm going to go to File, Edit, Transform, and I'm going to do Perspective next. And with Perspective, what I can do is pull on these handles, and it kind of changes the perspective of that kind of out. And I don't think I like that one either. So let me try Edit, Transform, Warp, Distort. Let me see what Distort does. Oh, there we go. Distort I like. All right, so I'm going to pull on that, and I'm going to distort it. All right, and then what I probably want to do, I'll check that off. Then I want to go and zoom in to where her feet are. I don't need those shadows under her feet the way they are. So what I can probably do is move this shadow around. And I could probably get rid of, I'll use an eraser, and probably get rid of where her feet are. So this is just taking a little time because of the way that she's standing here. So I could probably get rid of this. Probably get rid of that. And then I can move this around so you don't see that little smudge. And I'm going to have to play around with it until it looks good. Okay, and then once I think I have it, let me zoom out so I can see what this looks like. Once I think I have it, like I might want to erase her hand up here. Who needs that? Nobody needs that. Whoops, erased too much, sorry. We have a little bit of here. Okay, so this doesn't look like the shadow it's supposed to look like yet. So what I'm going to do is on the layer where the shadow is, I'm going to bring the opacity down until it's the color I want it to be. All right, and then I could just kind of play with it that way. So that's how you get that whole body effect, and there's a lot of different transformations you can make. Under transform, there's rotate, skew, distort, perspective, warp. You know, you have to try a combination of the things to make it look the way you want it to look, and then you have to bring the opacity down. You don't want it to be totally dark. So you want to bring that down. And if it looks too harsh in any area, like this looks a little harsh, you can always go back and blur it a little bit. Blur that edge so it kind of softens that a little bit, makes it look less, you know, less on the harsh side. And that's it.